And we're live here on Believe, presented by FanDuel. Bob Papa, two-time Super Bowl champion Carl Banks, Believe in Giants. Now, in the middle of recording our recap of the Lions game, we're almost near the end of our record. News broke that the Giants are moving on from defensive coordinator Shane Bowen. Now, make sure you check out the recorded version of our podcast as we break down what went wrong in the Giants' loss, but we're doing a live quick reaction here, Carl. Look, I think after what happened in Denver, I think after some of these other fourth quarter blown leads, what happened yesterday in Detroit, I think if Mike Kafka wanted any chance to maybe retain this job because he has a 7-game audition, he had to do something. And he made the decision this morning to move on from Shane Bowen.
Yeah, you can't be that loyal when you're applying for a job and you got a guy who's working against your best interest. And clearly this defense has been abysmal when you look at how well the offense has been playing. Blood and guts every week in a defense that just continues to let go of the rope. It's a results-oriented business. You're the head coach, you're the interim head coach of all of the team, not just the parts that do well. And it was time he had to drop that anchor. You could not continue down this path.
Yeah, and here's what went down. At the end of last year, in the exit meetings, the end of the season meetings, Brian Daboll, obviously, he meets with ownership, the general manager, and, it was suggested by some, hey, if you need to make a change at defensive coordinator, I know he's only been here 1 year, we'll support whatever you want to do. Dave's elected to stay with Shane Bowen. And there were a lot of people that were wondering, is this going to cost him? And maybe in a lot of ways, when he stayed loyal to him. After the Dallas game, Carl, I mean, you and I were talking with Dave's and doing the TV show, and he's like, if we ever have this many yards and score this many points and don't win the game, and then it kind of happened again, and there was no change. Yeah. So when Mike Kafka was named the interim head coach after they made the change, he was told directly, we're not going to mandate that you do anything with your staff. You're the head coach of the team. You will make decisions as you see fit. We will support you in whatever decisions you make, but it's your opportunity to shape it as you wish. Change the offensive coordinator or made Kelly the offensive coordinator, although he's continuing to call plays. And after last week's game and now this week's game, plus the loss in Chicago where you blew a lead, enough is enough. And this is what's happened.
Poor tackling team, poorly prepared team. And I think for me, the straw that breaks the camel's back is when your best players aren't on the field when it's time to close out. I think everybody saw that. And, Dexter being the linchpin there, but Nacho wasn't on the field a lot either. And that it had to be done.
We were talking with Marvin Lewis before the game in Chicago. He was doing national radio, and we were talking about the defense, and he's like, man, there's a lot of pieces there that you like. He said, he goes, they really don't do much. He goes, it's pretty cut and dry. It's pretty simple. He said, that they really, it's not that complicated what they're doing. And, let's face it, teams repeatedly went to the well, as I did on the podcast. I mean, the Giants are 2-10 now. Yeah. They're giving up 5.9 yards a carry. That
probably
Giants.
Goes up. It probably goes up after yesterday because
no, that's counting yesterday.
Oh, because the Lions hit them at 9 yards a clip.
Yeah, no, that's the updated sheet.
Yeah, Bobby, it's more than time. When fans who have untrained eyes can look at it position by position and call it trash. I wouldn't use that word. I just use undercoached, underperforming. I think you could get more out of every position than you're getting. How hard is it to communicate to your defensive end, hey, watch for the crack? After you've been hit with the same play for 5 straight weeks. and you see a receiver lined up close in a back offset to you, how hard is it to say in a meeting, hey, if you get this formation, let Brian know so that we can play it? Over and over again, nobody says a word. Like, that's poorly coached, right? You could be better at it, but we'll see what happens now. They have good coaches on the offense. There's some good coaches on the defense. I don't know if they were being, I don't know what it is. I know a change had to be made. It's a results-oriented business. You just couldn't continue to embarrass the offense and the team in the fashion that you did. Now, this doesn't let players off the hook. Your issues still exist, right? So you got to be better too. Your firing is coming. Some of y'all gonna get fired if you ain't better. It just may happen in the offseason.
Yeah, Charlie Bullen, the outside backer, is going to be the interim defensive coordinator, according to reports out there. Marquand Manuel was a defensive coordinator for 2 years in Atlanta. Didn't have much success as far as what their defense was. So Bullen's a young guy. He coaches the outside backers. He's going to get a chance to be the interim. I mean, and this is also where, Carl, right, you find out like dynamics within coaching staffs, and there's always relationships. And I'm not saying there's cliques, but there's guys that just connect differently.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, right, that Kafka becomes the interim head coach and he makes Kelly his OC, not the quarterback's coach, which is a little bit different. And he's going with the outside backers coach when you said, well, you know, could it be Andre Patterson? Could it be Brian Cox? Could it be Marquand Manuel, who has been a DC before? But he went with somebody that I think a lot of people didn't think would be the interim DC. So, like, who knows what ideas were being shared along the way, and like, you know, I would have done this, or maybe I would have done that. So, hey, I give Kafka credit for pulling the plug here.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be done, and again, he's the interim head coach for the entire team, not just the parts that do well, and he's responsible for all of these players.
Yeah, just we got a lot of people here on the line, and we got to get moving here. But you know, someone, Tommy Mills said something is wrong with Dex. If you go, we're going to post the podcast. If you go to Believe in Giants, we talk all about this because he's not there is something going on with Dexter.
There's a Dexter issue.
Yeah, there's a Dexter issue one way or another. So, breaking news: Shane Bowen fired. Look, being around him, he's a really nice guy, and all that other stuff. But this is a results business, and the defense was not good this year. It wasn't good last year, and this year you actually are good offensively, and you're losing way too many games where you would have killed for this kind of offense in years past.
Sure.
All right, so listen, everybody, we're going to post this shortly in the middle of our recording of the recap, and we go through all these issues, all these questions you're asking. We go through all these issues in the podcast. Make sure you check it out. Carl, how do you like to end this thing?
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Believe in Giants, and go watch the podcast. It'll be posted. It's about 40 minutes. And
the podcast, folks, you want to hear it.
All right. We thank our friends at FanDuel.